Hey all, we are going to finish the coloring page in this coloring book, Positive Vibes Coloring Book for Adults. And this is what we're going to be working on. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and today we're working on a coloring book, and thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. We have already done 2 days working on this coloring book, and this is our last one. I'm going to color until it's done. So welcome. If you are interested in the coloring page that we're working on, find that. There we go. This is the coloring page, and I'm going to take me off the screen now. Hey there, Debbie. Welcome, welcome. All right, I am going to click on the thing that takes me off the screen. There it is. So we are working on this coloring page. Zoom out. We have this kind of half to go, and I think we'll be able to get it done. I am hopeful. I am just using the same pencil crayons or colored pencils that we've been using, and these these are the Arteza Expert colored pencils. Hey there, guys! Yeah, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. Yay! And you know, it's just been one of those days. I looked up at the clock. Oh, here, I'm going to come back on for just a second. I looked at the clock and went, oh no, it's 6 minutes till 5. I've got a live stream. I can't go make dinner right now. So I did not make dinner. I came in and we're going to do this. Oh, if you're interested, this t-shirt, Fill Me Up With Coffee, is one of my designs. It's available on Teespring. There, we're going to take me off, and I am going to just jump right in and start coloring. So I'm looking at this. I'm going to work my way. Actually, maybe I'll go up to the top and work my way down. I do need a piece of paper to put, well, I can put my hand on this. Oh, if you want the coloring page, like I was saying, and I got distracted, I think, you can download this coloring page for free on my website, and the link is listed down below in the more information. And maybe I'll even go and see about grabbing the link for you so I can put it into my chat. That way you guys can have an easy access to it. So the coloring book, I need to go to that page. Sorry about this. The reason why I'm, a little bit flustered, I guess. But I am going to get into doing the coloring here in just a second. Isn't this pretty? So this coloring book has lots of pages. I'm waiting for the website to come up so I can grab the link. This is just going to be so much fun. But this coloring book is available on Amazon. The link for the for my Amazon stuff is up above pinned at the top of the chat, where it should be pinned. It's not pinned yet. It's going to be pinned. All right, pin that, and then I'm just going to drop the link for the coloring sheet. So there we go. All right, we're going to start coloring. I'm just going to put this page, just turn it upside down. We're going to rotate the book. That'll be easier. Then I don't have to use a page. So how's everybody doing today? Are you guys enjoying the weather? Catherine, has it been pouring rain where you are and then bright sunshine? It's been doing that for me. So we're going to come down here, and I think I'm going to go with the pinks. Pink, purple, and yellow. Pink, purple, and yellow for this flower right up here at the top. So let's go ahead and zoom in. Hey, Kathy, welcome, and Joan. Yay. It's always fun to see you guys. If you like this, please make sure and click that like button. Remember, you can only subscribe to a channel once, but you can always click the like button every single time. I'm putting some white down on the page here on each of the petals as we're going outwards. And this is an Amazon coloring book, so the pages are pretty thin. They say it's a 50 or 55 pound white paper, black ink outlining. Perfectly gorgeous in Philly. Excellent. It's been raining buckets and bees. Oh, I like that. Catherine, that is a lovely way to say it. I'm putting some yellow that's close to the center and then barely touching outside of these petals, right below the white. The white helps to maintain the level of highlight. Let's see. You had a power out for a couple hours? Ooh. Power outages when it's super hot are really, really not very much fun. And 100-degree heat, Kathy, that would be running the bathtub full of cold water and sitting with the lights off and my feet in the tub. I think. I hope that you weathered that oh right. Okay. So, this is one of those kind of slow and positive. I think maybe I'm just going to go with the plum purple and the yellow with that white that's sort of buffered between, and then I'll take the pink over it. I'm making this up as I go. I have not tried this combination. Just having fun. It has been such strange weather here. We have had today bright, brilliant sunlight, and as Catherine said, buckets and bees coming down from the sky. Crazy weather. Yesterday was so humid. Not something that I'm used to. Bit of a drought this spring and can use some rain. Yep. That's pretty much where we are. We've gotten a lot of rain in the last couple days, but we really need it. They've already put a fire ban for, backyard fire pits and things like that. None of it. It's one of the reasons why I really like my propane fire when we are camping. I'm taking a little bit of this watermelon pink. It is a bit warm, so I'm thinking that it will blend with that yellow and the pink on the outside. Looks like I've got a lot of color in here, so I need to be careful. I don't want to completely take over all of the white, but I want it to go over just a little. Yeah, if you live someplace where there's a drought, you want as much of that rain to fall when the rain is supposed to fall, so that the ground can soak up all of the moisture. But I am so grateful that I live where I live, and that in general we don't have to deal with 100-degree temperatures for more than a few days during the whole year. Just taking my time, just doing the fun stuff. Beautiful, sunny in Sydney. Sunny and fresh. Oh, so fresh. Now you do Celsius, so are you saying like in the upper teens, or are you saying in the low 20s? Because I know in Australia it can be very, very warm. So fresh could be, 18. We don't run in Celsius here, so I'm kind of guessing. But thank you so much, Susan, for being here. I know it's already Tuesday morning, your time, Must be pretty early in the morning, though. Oh, and I wanted my white again. Okay, and I need... Where did I set that? Pencil sharpener. There it is. I want to sharpen my white pencil here. There we go. Put a little bit of that white in, and what the white does is sort of, because I put the white down underneath first and then putting white over the top, it sort of pulls that color up a little bit that I put over it. It's kind of scratching through a little, but it's also blending. Well, that's working out really well. Fun little techniques. You know, coloring is so relaxing. It's so good for just to unwind. I have, you know, a couple projects going that I want to do, and one of them is having a bunch of these things colored. So I'm going to need to get on it and get coloring so I can get those projects done. Oh, this is just basically a little architect's sweep brush. That way I'm not pushing the colors around with my hands. Let's see here. We are going to go, I think I'm going to go ahead and get these green leaves. I'm going to try and just work my way up. And so I'm taking the fluorescent yellow, the parakeet green, and the absinthe green? Or do I want the mint? No, I don't want the mint. The mint is too blue. Apple. I wanted apple. Parakeet, absinthe, and apple. So, there we go. All right. So let's see here. If we go in with the bright yellow, the fluorescent yellow green, and I'm just laying a layer of that color down. I'm not worried about getting it right up underneath of the petals or underneath of the other leaves. Kind of out on the tips. Because this is my highlight, it's not the shadow, so. Yeah, I'll work my way around these little leaves that are all... So yeah, I am being a little bit messy right here too. It's kind of fun to be able to just throw the color on. This is one of those projects that you can do. You find coloring pages online, just print them out on your printer. If you're just doing colored pencils and that's a dry media, you don't have to worry about it reactivating the ink on your page. I am going to do some coloring at some point where I do the, let's see, that's a green. Where I try and put a little bit of watercolor pencil, but it's not, this paper really isn't recommended for wet media, so I might put some ground of some kind or a light layer of a gesso or something. All right, so it's only 54 degrees where you are. Ah, Fahrenheit. That parakeet's too blue. I don't want the blue. There we go. I like using a lot of different colors of green. Give it a little bit of variety. Oh, Sue, I hope that you're starting to feel better from that. You know, surgery is always, even if it's, you know, whatever kind of surgery it is, Even if they tell you, oh, it'll be really easy to recover from this. Yeah. Sometimes your body says, I am going to slow you down more than you expect to be slowed down. It's been a while since I've had any surgery, so knock on wood. I'm happy about that. I am going to grab the dark forest green and push a little bit of that in. See, I am working in light layers. By working light, I still have some paper tooth that I can grab can grab onto some of the pencil. If you push too hard, you will end up filling the tooth of your paper and not be able to get to the color that you want to be at. So I am working on, I'm going to just sort of ramble and chat here, guys. I hope that's okay with you. I have been doing a lot of working on being more positive. I know I'm a pretty positive person, but working on being more positive, working on building my self-talk to support a more positive outlook and more positive outcomes. So I really think, and I do believe, that the things you think about are the things you end up with. So if you think about, everything is bad and grumpy or terrible or whatever, that's what you end up with is, bad, grumpy, terrible, blah, blah, blah. Where if you're thinking about, gratitude and happiness and joy, and you start seeing the things that bring you to a point of gratitude, happiness, joy. See those leaves? Aren't they pretty? So yeah, that's kind of where I'm doing a lot of the positive affirmation type thinking, positive, happy thoughts for just living. It's amazing how just thinking good thoughts about stuff really does alter your view. So I need to alter my view every once in a while. Give myself a little reset. So I picked up the absinthe green. I'm kind of using it to blend. It's sort of my middle tone. So it's darker than the bright green, the fluorescent yellow. Although I want a little more fluorescent yellow out here on this particular leaf. It's sort of one of my highest up leaves. Yeah, it's when you're on enforced rest time, coloring is amazing. And there's so many free coloring sheets out there. There's so many fun coloring books and things like that aren't very expensive. My coloring book is not very expensive. There's 40 pictures in this coloring book. So, and they're all ones with, I made it so that there's a wide enough margin here that you can cut these out of the book and use them as posters. So I'm going to rotate, come over, and I'm going to do this set right here. You don't usually color, but this is inspiring you. Yeah, I don't color a lot, but I'm enjoying making the coloring books, and since I'm making them, I do need to color in them so that I have samples to show people, right? And I figured if I have to color anyway, I might as well make it a video, a live stream, so we can get together and chat. Because with, everything going on in the world, sometimes it's hard to get back into the habit of doing something. And chatting is one of those things kind of got out of the habit. I haven't forgotten you guys. I'm still so grateful to everyone out there that's been watching the videos and subscribing to the channel, leaving comments, especially the kind ones. I love kind comments. See, I'm just bopping all over here. I'm not... I'm not too worried about making anything perfect. One of the things about coloring that I have really, really been appreciating is that it helps my painting. I've noticed that coloring actually helps me paint better. As weird as that may sound, because I'm working with colors in a very relaxed way when I'm coloring on coloring books. I am not somebody who has to keep it pristine and perfect. You know, you can build up and work on what colors layer well with others. Oh my goodness, I can smell what I was making for dinner. I had started it, actually got it halfway done, got it to the point where I could take it off the burner and just set it to the side, so when I get done, I will be able to just go and cook up some boiled potatoes real quick, and I will have my full dinner ready. But the universe worked in such a way to get me... Let's see here. I want to take this coyote brown. Really crazy, but it's like kind of a brownish green. Works really well for deepening up the shadows on greens. It's kind of like taking orange and mixing it with your green, which is another way to build your colors up. Ooh, that's pretty. I think I'm just going to leave that on this one. Put a little bit of that down right in there. See how that works. Doing it a little backwards. I put that coyote brown in. Ooh, that really gives you an even deeper shadow with that dark forest green. Pretty. Oops, don't drop. There we go. So yeah, just having a nice time. Let me know if the music is too loud. I've got the music running in the background. I like this music. It's soft and kind of joyful, but not too in your face. Putting some of that bright fluorescent yellow on this. Let's zoom out just a smidge so you can see that a little bit more in context. You see how I added that more brown tone to the leaves in here and how much darker it is? I'm actually going to take a little touch of Prussian blue on these leaves, these tiny ones, and deepen the shadow with that. Trying to find ways to make these leaves look a little bit different. There we go. So, you know, different techniques for coloring. I'm using all the same colored pencils, but I am working on getting them layered in different ways. So it gives you a different effect if you put the dark color down first than if you put the dark color down over the top. It's just putting a tiny layer of that Prussian blue on there. We'll zoom back in. Come on, zoom back in. Gotta pick up my remote to zoom in. There we go. But yeah, if you put the dark color down later, you get more of a softer glow of the highlight or shadow. Where you see here this is the spot where I put the dark color down first and then put the green over the top of it. Actually, I need to go back and soften that. Hello there, Catherine Miles. Welcome. So, we're having fun. We've got people from all over the world here. I am so in awe of how many people we can touch from one of these little videos. How many people you can interact with in the chat from so many places around the world. You know, we live in a world that is so connected, but can feel very disconnected sometimes too. So being able to chat with other people on a live stream like this, especially my crew. My crew is such a sweet and kind group of people. This creative community that we have here, you know, I sometimes have, you know, have a problem. I have to try and pinch myself or something to figure out how did everybody find me, you know? When did you come on and become part of our creative community, you know? It's so interesting. I'm using that apple green or absinthe green. I am just layering colors. I'm just layering them up and putting lots of different colors. Like I said, you get better with painting after you've been doing some color pencil work, because you learn which colors kind of make the other ones pop. Here's a nice comment. Thank you, Cassandra. That is a lovely comment. Yeah, I'm located in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. So I like to say I live in fairyland, because just like Ireland and Scotland and parts of England, we are very green. We get a lot of rain, but we don't actually get as much rain as people think. It's just that our rain is spread out over the whole year, where many other places, their rain happens at one time, or over two short periods of time they have all of their rain. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit of that blue out on this edge. There we go. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to see our community growing. I'm getting super close to the 94,000 subscribers. However, most of my subscribers came on when I was doing just the acrylic pouring, and so many of them are learning new things about me and the new things that I like to do. I'm going to go ahead and start putting some color in. Whoops, I do need some green down here on these little guys. There we go. Just put a little bit of green down in there. Now, so what I have here is I just took a couple handfuls of different colors and put them together in this one bin just to make it easier here on the desk. But I have a bin that's on the side of my desk with slots for all of my colored pencils. I usually have them sorted by color. And, you know, right now, I don't. I want to do this one. I like the idea of that one, and I am not pink macaron. That one should be a good color. I'm going to take some white in here because I'm going to do this sort of ballooned up. This is more like a dogwood flower, but I'm going to balloon that flower up. So Sue, that's when you came on during the acrylic pouring times. Well, I am so happy that you stuck with me, even though I'm not doing that so much now. The acrylic pouring is awesome, but it does take up a lot of space if you pour a lot to dry. And I've restructured my studio space so it doesn't, I really don't have a place to set things to dry. But, you know. So we're going to do this kind of puffed up balloon flower. And you saw I put white around the middles. So I'm puffing up these by having that bright white highlight in the center. I am putting the color around the outsides and down the indent towards the center. And I am bringing it out into the white a little bit. I want you to notice I am rotating my pencil, and I do that automatically. I don't even think about it. We'll zoom in again. So I don't even think about how I am rotating my pencil, but I do. There's only so much pouring one can do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, it was so funny because I was getting to the point where, you know, pouring was getting a little bit same. So I had started doing things like, you know, using the balloon to smash into the paint and these different things. And so I started doing those and then started seeing other people start doing it. And I was feeling a little bit, I'm not trying to complain or anything. I was feeling a little bit like, all right, so I'm doing this and I'm not getting the views. And I started doing a lot of the techniques, you know, making my poured paintings look like paintings and things like that before other people were doing that. But then they were getting rewarded by the YouTube algorithm and I wasn't. And I was starting to feel a little disheartened. So then I decided, you know what? I have a couple ways to go here. I can feel disheartened and I can just give up. Or I can say, you know what? I have a lot more skills than just pouring paint. So I'm going to start sharing those skills. And then YouTube still didn't want to share my stuff out very much. The algorithm is a strange beast. And, oh, bye, Catherine. Take care. Yes, please. Come back and watch the replay. So yeah, the algorithm is a strange beast. And, you know, YouTube, I don't know the demographics of my, the demographics of my audience and the, maybe the time frame I'm doing it, maybe the subject, I'm not sure. But, it's taken a little while. We're starting to go up in subscribers again. We're starting to go, views are slowly going up. But my number one video is still the top 10 tips that new people pouring should know. Beginner's tips for pouring acrylic paint. That's still the number one video on my channel, and I haven't poured in 2 years. But I still answer all the questions, and I still, still check in on the comments and such. I'm not abandoning people, but I did remove a lot of the pouring videos from my channel that weren't getting very many views, or had never gotten very many views. Oh, I like that. I think I do want to put a little bit, maybe kind of blood orange. Just a tiny touch of some orange right down in here. And then I'm going to put that onto the center with a bit of green. Hey Carmen, welcome. Nice to see you back. It's always fun when people start coming in and I start recognizing names. People who keep coming back. That is so awesome. Make sure and hit that like button, guys. That really, what it does is it shows the YouTube algorithm that I'm trying to crack, trying to figure out. It shows the YouTube algorithm that people are enjoying the video, and then they will share it with people who like things like you like. So if you like it, then other people might like it that like the same kinds of things. I'm taking a little bit of the green. Actually, no, I'm going to take a little bit of the fluorescent yellow. Put some of that in here. Because the centers of dogwoods can sometimes have interesting combinations of green and red and yellow. All right. So anyhow, I am focusing on gratitude. That's my goal. Focus on the gratitude. Focus on the happy stuff. Focus on the awesome people. You all are so amazing and awesome. Focus on the awesome people coming in to share time with me. I'm taking a bit of the magenta and I'm going to put that right down deep. See how that, oh yeah, that did what I wanted it to do, which is sort of push that center bit, the center of those petals, right down deep inside. In the deep, dark depths. You're so glad that I did other stuff, because now you paint with acrylics and watercolor and have explored gouache. So that is so amazing to hear. I am glad that you have found my channel to be something that can take you into lots of creative pursuits. You know, that's very, very heartening. It warms my heart. It makes me feel really, really happy. And it also, by you sharing that, it also helps other people see that, hey, you know what? There's lots of things that we can do. And even if we're not comfortable with something when we first start off, we can become more comfortable with it. All right. Okay. So, Carmen, thank you. You give thumbs up even before saying hello so you don't forget. Yay! Oh, that's awesome. I am going to go in. I think this one here, I'm going to try and do, I like the pinks, but I think I'm going to go with more of the pink and red, maybe? I don't want it to be orange, though, so I'm going to take carmine and the magenta, maybe that pink macaroon and white, and do this layered one right here. So first off, I'm going to take that white in because I really like how it helps to lift the petals up, and it gives me the opportunity to get back to that white or to the lighter tone. And then I think I'm going to put white in the middle of these arches. See there? I'm rotating the pencil. If you ever want to know if somebody is actually rotating the pencil, you can watch the graphics that are on here, and you'll see how it just sort of spins around. If you watch which is one of the funny things, if you watch somebody that has sped up their video, this ends up going like this. Go doop, 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 really fast. And you don't even think that they're holding onto the pencil all the way. So now I am going to take the magenta. And I'm going to take that right down here at the base of these petals. These are whimsical, made-up flowers. They are not being colored in a realistic manner, just in the way that makes me happy. Now, right down deep, right here, around the outside set of petals. I'm going to put some of that magenta. I'm not filling up the whole petal with it, and I am leaving sort of a soft edge. Well, no, I guess the pencil itself won't smear if I don't use the brush, but what happens is if you are coloring really hard and you're getting a lot of pencil crumbs, when you brush your hand across it, that's where you get the smearing. You would get those little pencil crumbs smearing across your uncolored areas. It's not so much of a big deal if it goes across something that's already colored, because there's nothing for it to stick to. But so using a brush is nice, and you can use any kind of a brush. You can use that brush, you know, big purpose-made type brush. But I've got, this is a large area brush. You can use that. You could use, this is a 3/4 inch flat watercolor brush. It's a nice soft brush. You can do that. Now, I wouldn't tend to use my watercolor brushes, but you could use your acrylic brushes. That's a watercolor brush. Here's an acrylic brush. So this is a number 10 Simply Simmons acrylic brush. It's a little bit stiffer, but it would work to brush the pencil crumbs off. Okay, so put that back up there, and I was using the magenta, so I'll go back to it, finish up working my way around. So I love to see when people are doing the coloring sheets and coloring pages from the color books. If you tag me on social media, tag @deliberatelycreative, and if you tag me like on Instagram, I can share your art on my Instagram page. You know, on my stories. I share art on my stories if people tag me. I love to see what you do and the different ways. Kathy B has been doing a lot of the coloring pages and such from different color books that I've got out. On Teespring, I have 4 instant downloadable printable coloring books. So you can just print your individual pages at home and color on them. And you can print those onto paper that makes you happy. So if lightweight, text weight paper isn't your thing and your printer will let you do it, you can print on like a 90-pound watercolor paper. And if you've got a really good printer, you can print on 140-pound watercolor paper. You just have to let it dry really well. And then I usually hit the printouts with a bit of a heat tool just to really make sure that it's super, super dry before I start coloring on it. And if you do it on watercolor paper, you can actually use watercolor. Oh, Darcy, better on the TV? Okay. Yeah, you know, watching big screen, that can be a lot of fun. We watch a lot of art videos on the big screen. And if you are watching on the big screen and you're not already subscribed and you're like, oh, I can't subscribe, I'm on a I'm on the TV, there's actually the 3 dots. If you push your cursor or toggle on your remote up, that where it would give you the line so that you could drag back and forth on the line, you can actually, on the timeline, you can actually click on the 3 dots and you can go to the subscribe. You can also click on the thumbs up button right there from the TV. I didn't know that until just recently. Hello, Miss Darcy. I know you love doodling. I love your doodling too. So in addition to the variety of paints and techniques, you're so happy that I taught you to doodle. Aww. Yeah, doodling is, I love the, just the idea of doodling, the process of doodling, the relaxation of doodling. These flowers are all doodles that I did. Generally, doodling can be done without a purpose. You don't have to have a goal in mind. But many times it's fun to have a little bit of a goal. Like, I knew I wanted to do a floral spray here. But I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, what kind of flowers I wanted to do. So I just started doodling flowers, and this grew out of that. And then I went and found the perfect saying to go on here. A grateful heart. Rotate that. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. And that is my go-to saying right now. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. I'm going to go in with the white now and add a bit more white lightly. So it's starting to blend those colors together a little bit. See how that sort of pulls in, diffuses it a little? Sorry about the wobble on the camera there, guys. I bumped my microphone cord, and my microphone is attached to an arm that's the same arm that my camera is attached to. So, oh, that's making me so happy. I love how that's looking. It gives it that 3-dimensional quality. Doodling is a happy addiction. Absolutely. Absolutely. The cool thing about doodling is that it's not mindless, but it allows your mind to work on things, make connections that you wouldn't necessarily have had made. I love the opportunity to just let my mind think about things, but then I can make a decision on what color I want to do next, on the coloring, or on the doodling, what petal I want to draw next, or set of lines. But once you get into a certain rhythm, you get into what they call the flow, and your brain just sort of puts you in this place where your body is almost getting like a rest while you're doing it. All right, so now I think I'm going to take a darker purple tone. I like this sort of eggplant. I'm going to set my pencils down. And I'm going to put this eggplant coming up around the edges. And then we'll pull that white again. See, because I put some of the white up here at the top. Just keep it separated a little. I'm pushing a little harder deep down and then lightening up my pressure as I come out. So pressure down and then lighten up as I'm working my way out towards the tip. Sort of a technique that I use when I'm doodling, and I put a lot of tight black lines down deep and then less and less black out towards the tip for shading. You're going to doodle your way all the way to Michigan. Oh, that's a great plan. Okay, so you can see where some of that color got pressed out here. You can scrape some of it off with your finger, but I'm not too worried about it. I am going to go in and do like an all, cover the whole background with color. I just don't know what color. It's probably going to be in the blues. But I think that will be done just as a speed video when I'm just coloring just the blue into the background. Because you know what? That's not going to be as entertaining. It's like, and I also said I'm finishing, so I'm finishing the coloring of all the flowers on this episode, and then I will do a quick speed video. So I do have another video coming up tomorrow. If you're on my Instagram, you've already seen a sample of the type of thing I'm doing on my dropped video tomorrow, and it's how to paint a cute little owl, little baby owl, with watercolor, and I don't actually draw it in. I give you all the steps on how to paint a cute baby owl without having to draw. So it's a lot of fun. Put a little bit of that darker color down in here. Right down deep. There we go. But thank you guys. I love seeing you chat. I love chatting with you. I'm just taking some of that white, kind of connecting that bridge between the color. And I'm not worried if I got a little green in there or if I've got a little bit of some other colors. Because I had that layer of white underneath, it's making this sort of slippery and helping the color to blend across and give you that highlighty feel. All right, let's zoom out. Take a look at that. You can't wait for the owls. They're adorable. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to turn this around so that we can see the whole thing right now. So there we go. That is looking really pretty. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to keep going and keep coloring. If you have other things to do today, I appreciate any time that you come and stay and hang out and chat, visit, color. If you want to color along with me, that's awesome. If you want to work on other projects, that's awesome too. All right, so I need to put some color down in the center. I'm going to get this sort of orange. And then I think I'm actually going to put like a green dot right in there. And then maybe a little bit of a green around the edges. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, so now I am going to go ahead and this one, these petals are going to be orange. This one is really quite detailed. I think these little petals down here are going to be orange. These aren't actually petals. These are more like the shadows deep in the petal. So I think I'm going to just really darken that up. Sometimes I do. I work on more than one at a time. You know, if there's like, maybe I'll take and put this orange right down in here for the stamens, around that center. Boomity boom. Maybe I'll take the neon yellow right in there, down in here. Using the same colors going through the whole composition actually makes it feel a little bit more cohesive, a little more brought together. And then I am going to grab this Tuscan sun, put some of that right down in here on these petals. These are bright yellow. I'm doing it very light, basically just getting a layer of color down. Right, I think we're going to have kind of a yellowish tone to the center of these. It's like the sun shining in the middle of this flower. I like that. And if you've got this turned on and we are just hanging out together as you are getting other work done, thank you for taking me along on your work day. I appreciate that. I'm taking some of this sunflower yellow, a little bit darker around the outside edge of this flower. There's some green that got into these little spaces. Nice thing, you know. If they overlap a little bit, that's okay. I'm going to take some of that yellow and sort of bridge between that dark orange and the lighter layer. And like I said, I did not have this planned out, how the flowers were being colored. It's all just sort of serendipity. So now, I know that I have some of my community that really likes coming in the evening, but if I were to go ahead and do an early in the day, my time, like 8 in the morning, would that be, let's see, 8 in the morning would be about 11 a.m. Eastern time. Would that be a good time for you guys? Or would that be way too early and you're going, what the heck is she thinking? Well, let me know. If going earlier in the day would be a good thing. I want to be able to offer things both, you know, for everybody. Good times of day for everyone. And I know that not one time of day suits everyone all the time. But I want to honor your time, and if you come in just because I'm on, but you really are supposed to be doing something else, you know. And if it would be nice to have the videos available for while you're working. Your new coloring page you're doing is on Instagram. Make sure you tag me at Deliberately Creative. Take that sunflower yellow, and I'm going to come out here. Put a little bit of that color out on the edge. And then a bit of white. Isn't that pretty? And now I see down deep underneath of these little petals right here, I'm going to put just a touch of some, this is the carmine red. And then I'll take the yellow back over it and sort of pull it out just a little bit. Gives us a tiny touch of some shadowy type color without making it muddy with a brown. I did use browns on some of my yellow and orange flowers on the day one. Oh, if you want to flip through of the whole book, check the first coloring in the coloring book video, because there's a flip through of the whole coloring book. And if you want copies of my coloring books and you don't have a printer and you don't want to get you don't want to mess around with printing your own coloring pages, you just want the coloring book so you can color, the link is listed at the top of the chat and also down below in the more information to my Amazon bookstore, where I have all kinds of books. Oh, it's pretty. This one right here actually makes me think of those God's eyes, you know, where you would take the strings, or take the sticks, and then you would take yarn and wrap it around the sticks, and how it would be one color in the center and you would grow out to more colors as you go out. That's what that reminds me of. Okay, guys, I need to check something really, really quick. I will be right back. So talk amongst yourselves. I have to grab something. Okay, I'm back. Wasn't very long. I needed to grab my coffee. So, there we go. All right. I am going to actually go off script on that one, and I'm going to say that it is actually a purple flower. Deep purple on these petals, down deep, and then maybe work it out to a lighter color. The purple gives us a little spark right in here, changes up the color just a bit, gives us, you know, another variation of tone. Ah, hey Carla, welcome. You're coloring the poppy page of the book. Ooh, neat. Sorry about that. Getting that all focused for you again. All right. Yeah, it's so much fun. If you are interested in more coloring, let me know. Leave me a comment after the video down below. Leave me a comment and let me know if you want more coloring videos. Now I just picked up, so that purple was the violet. So that dark purple is the violet, and this is the orchid. I think orchid purple is one of my favorite colors in these colored pencils. I haven't done any doodle gems with these pencils yet. So when I started my channel, oh my goodness, 6 years ago almost, I started it and did what I called doodle gems. And that's actually how I grew my channel to begin with, for my first 10,000 subscribers, was pretty much off of my doodle gems. And that was all working with different colored pencils. So earlier in the day works for you too, Joan? That's good to hear. Hey there, Miss Mary. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, okay, so I'm heading into the, we are now over 1 hour. We are now over 1 hour on this video, and I'm going to keep going until I am done. But I really only have, whoops, almost forgot the middle of this one. Let's see. I think the middle of this one is going to be maybe it's one of those ones, you know how the, my brain just went dead, how fuchsias can have those really dark colors and then they have a pop of some other color. I think I want a pop of some other color here in the center, and I think maybe it will be the carmine red with a bit of white. So I'm going to put the white in first, just like that, round and round. Very sharp point on this pencil, and I'm going to go in and put like a spiral almost, right down deep. Just like that, and then I am going to take that midnight blue. Midnight blue. I thought I was picking up Prussian, but I grabbed midnight blue. I'm going to put a little bit of that midnight blue right. Oh, that is so pretty. Zoom in even more. So it makes it, wow, it just really gave us that pushback in that center right there. Use a little bit of that midnight blue, not too much. And then I think I will touch just a little bit of yellow. That Tuscan sun. Nope, sunflower. Sunflower yellow. Oh, look. So now you've got that bunched up in the center. It's like all tightened up, and it's going to go pop and pop out and have this beautiful, beautiful color. All right, so now, right here, I really like this colorway. I think I'm gonna bring that over here on that type of coloring, but maybe with the apricot and the peach and white for the actual color. It's a lot darker because of the yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. But I'm going to put a little green tip right out there. And maybe green in the center. I know it's kind of weird to put green on it, but sometimes, and then this is the fluorescent yellow. So I put the absinthe green and the fluorescent yellow on here. I'm going to take the white. Now, every once in a while, your white will get a little bit dirty. So I'll just go like this and just sort of run it off on a piece of paper to clean it up. And we're going to go and put some white right here. A little bit right there. Okay. And then I am going to take the peaches and cream, and I'm going to put that right out here. I am going to warm this up by putting yellow over the whole thing, I think. I don't know. I don't want it to look fleshy. You know? I don't want it to look fleshy. So we'll take a look. We'll see if it's pinkish enough. It's looking okay, but I think I still might want to put a little yellow on it. Don't know. And then I'm going to take the apricot down here in the center. Since there's all that dark color, I am putting my colored pencil fairly dark or hard, pressing down. Well, that's pretty. I might be able to just keep it the way it is. Nice. Maybe a little bit of that right out here at the very tip, right near the green. Well, that worked. Twisted Art Lady, welcome. So happy to see you here. I hope you are having a fantastic evening or day, morning, wherever you are in the world. I hope it is fantastic. I am going to make this one, I think it's going to end up being more pansy colored, even though the center, I mean, the whole thing isn't really very pansy-like. I am going to give it a dark, or a bit of a green and some yellow in the very center. But I'm in the mood for the pansy type colors. So I'm going to take and put bright yellow right here on these center flowery bits. And then we are going to take, this is lavender. I think we'll take lavender. And that will be sort of my base color. There we go. So you can tell when I start getting a lot more focused on my art or on coloring or painting or anything, I stop talking as much. Because really, the part of your brain that controls your speech is not the part of the brain that controls your creative processes. And now, over the years, I have I have developed my brain to be able to speak and pretty much remember what it is I've talked about while I'm teaching these teaching lessons on YouTube or doing live streams and doing something creative as I'm doing it. But generally speaking, your brain kind of goes into a quiet place when you are being creative. Now this is lilac, and lilac is a little bit more pinky purple. You love purples? Yeah, I really like purple also. Now the lilac has more of a red tone to it, pink tone. I'm going to sort of work it around in a few spots. I'm not coloring the entire petal with it, unless I, run out of room to put, like that one right there. I just colored the whole petal. But this one I'm going to put just a bit of it coming up and around. I'm going to grab my really dark purpley tone in just a moment. But I want to grab the white first and put the white in here. While I still have a little bit of white paper showing, I tried to hit the white of the paper first and then come in. Now, right there, you see this? That was because I had a chunk of colored pencil on there. and I pressed it right into the dry paper. So that's okay. I will be able to modify that area so it looks fine. All right, grab this is the lavender again. Pull some of that up into the white. And then a little bit of the lilac up into the white. I have a ginormous, very big lilac tree. It's not a bush. It's probably, 20 feet tall in my backyard. And it puts off, the only problem with lilacs is that the flowers only bloom for a very short period of time. Have to remember to breathe when you are painting. Absolutely. Same with coloring. Have to remember to breathe. It's important. So now I've got the amethyst purple. I'm going to use that right down deep. So yeah, you can blow the crumbs off. You don't have to have a brush at all. It's just be careful when you're blowing off the crumbs that you're not spitting on your artwork. Oh, that's pretty. Getting that dark right down deep into the center and then coming up. If the petal is overlapped, putting a little bit of that darker purple right down in where it's overlapped. So the petal that's underneath is getting a little bit darker where there's a shadow. That's pretty. Okay, so zoom out again. We are getting really close. So, since you are here, you guys get to make the decision for me of what colorway should this last one be. Should I do it in try and do it with mostly whites with a little bit of blue for like shadows? Should I do it in like a really deep orange or red, kind of like a Gerbera daisy? So I think that's my two ways that I'm going here. So you guys get to make the decision. I am going to go with either the blues. See, this is the Mykonos blue, which is like a sea blue, and white with a orange yellow center. Or do it with the deep red, see, blood orange, carmine, where's I have a rose red in here. So, Sue was in quick with blue, so we'll see what other people say. Yes, at least with coloring, you don't dip your pencils in your drink. So, getting on here, doing our coloring with coffee and colored pencils makes a big difference. Oh no! And now Carla says reds. So, we're going back and forth now. We've got do it with the so that it's kind of like a white daisy with blue shadows, or we do it with the reds and oranges so it's kind of like a Gerbera. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. And welcome, guys. If you are new here, I see people coming in and out. So if you're new, click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you like seeing this type of artwork and these types of coloring pages. This artwork was done all by me. So we have, you know, lots and lots of fun art and doodling. So now I've got 2 to 1. Reds versus. Get your suggestion in quick, guys. Right now it's looking closer to the reds. And we will get moving along on that. I will probably add a little bit of the pumpkin orange to it, maybe. What I really should do is go and find a picture of a Gerbera daisy so I can see what the colors look like. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Gerbera daisy. Since I don't have a... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's look at that. Let's see. Okay, so look at that. That is pretty much the colors that I chose, isn't it? And then it uses a really dark brown for in the very center bit. So I think I will grab a kind of the cinnamon brown color, maybe in honor of my friend Cinnamon, and a garnet red as shadow colors. I think that works really, really well. All right, so now I'm going to come back. And blues, reds, blues. Ah! But I found the flower I'm going to do. I think that filling this one out as a Gerbera daisy type color, I think makes some sense. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to color it like a Gerbera daisy. And I think I'm going to sway all of my fun people who wanted blue. I think you guys might enjoy that. What do you think? You going to enjoy it? Having a pretty deep reds and oranges. So there we go. Yes. All right. Sometimes being able to pop over to the internet and just look at something really quick really helps, doesn't it? Oh, lilacs smell so good, but you know, and I love them. I absolutely adore lilacs. So I'm so glad that I've got the big bush in the yard, but it only blooms for like 2 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks. Now I'm taking this pumpkin orange and I'm going to use it like I would use white. And I'm laying down a layer of this orange very loosely, very, you know, pretty sloppy. I'm trying to not like scrub hard in here. I'm lightly laying this color in. And now my flower here only has 1 layer of petals. And that's okay, you know? So there we go. Just get that color going in there. Keeping it a little bit light at the edge. There we go. Now I'm going to take the blood orange. I'm going to put some of that really deep. These petals are going to be very strongly colored. Gerberas are like the neon sign for daisies. Very, very just eye-popping colors. All right. Ah, Joan. Yep. Joan, I think that you are a little bit behind on the chat. Which is totally fine. Or a little bit behind on the playback. Totally fine. Just. It'll be interesting to hear what Joan says about the flower when I show the picture. It's kind of fun. You know, because nothing says that everybody is watching it at the same, you know, from the same spot on the video. I'm going to bring that up darker there. Put a little bit more coming up. See, again, this is where you get to make some decisions. You get to make some color choices. You see, by putting that orange yellow down first, I really was able to preserve some of that highlight going in. You have an African violet flower. Oh yeah, I love African violets. They are beautiful. And then I'm going to grab the rose red, and I'm going to bring it out here, out on the very tips, and then sort of right in along the edges. Rose red right out here on the very tip, and then draw it down towards the edges of the petals. So I am going to probably do a quick little speed video of coloring in the background, because that's just going to be me being mindless coloring, and I think I will probably put a show on while I'm doing it. So I am going to want to try and color it in a smooth way, and I will post the video probably on my Tangy. So if you've not heard of Tangy, it is a short video location where I can post 1 to 2 minute videos, and I tend to post quick speed videos of artwork that I've done. Much of it has been on my channel, but some of it is only existing on Tangy. But I can also do other things on there, like cooking videos and stuff that there's no way I would totally kill the algorithm even getting a chance to share my videos if I put cooking videos on here too. So I am so that's tangy.com or tangy.co. It's an app that you have to have on your phone, though, pretty much. You can get to it on the website or on the internet on your computer, but if you want to post videos yourself, you do have to have it on your phone. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and grab that pumpkin orange again and kind of, I'm leaving a little sliver of that one layer of the color. So let's zoom in and see. Your mom has African violets under lights in her basement, and she's had some since 8 was a kid. Since you were a kid? Okay, since I was a kid. Yeah, you know, African violets, well, many plants can last, you know, years and years and years. It's all in all in the process of being able to take care of them. I'm lucky if I can keep a plant going for 2 or 3 years. So, you know, I have a plant that was given to me when I left the school district that I was working for before I went full-time on YouTube and with my studio, my art, and my coloring books. So they gave me a plant along with some other stuff, and the plant was actually a pot. Whoa, sorry about that. It's not you, it's me. Not getting the focus. The plant had like, it was sectioned into, you know, it was a round pot like this, and it was sectioned into thirds with like 3 smaller pots in it, and 1/3 of the planter has maintained. I have been able to keep it alive in my windowsill, or on my windowsill in the kitchen. So something about right where it is, it likes that spot, and I'm not moving it. I am taking the rose red again, and I'm going to go right down deep. I'm really punching up the intensity of that color. Sorry about that. Put my head right in under there too. Boy, I am just a mixture of all kinds of nonsense tonight, aren't I? I'm going to take this cinnamon brown and get it worked in here. Gerber daisies have that super dark center. So I'm starting off, this is the lighter tone that I'm going to put in here. And then I have, oh, that's the garnet red. I wasn't going for the garnet red. Maybe I'm going to grab a brown. Oh, let's see here. Burnt umber? Oh, that's deepening it up. That's nice. Okay, burnt umber. Burnt umber it is. And then these little guys right here, I think, are going to be that blood orange color. And then some of the pumpkin orange. So I'm just swirling over the whole thing. I'm not like individually coloring each little guy. I'm sort of swirling around. Maybe that just is brightening that up. Okay. And maybe I'll take the cinnamon back over this again. A couple of those spots make them a little warmer brown. So you've got a combination of the warm brown and the dark brown. This burnt umber is pretty transparent. So I think for my shadow from the flower here on that area, I am going to grab, where did the Prussian blue go? So I'm just going through here, going, where'd the Prussian blue go? There it is. Prussian blue. See if I can see that Prussian blue is a little bit more opaque. Ooh, I could take that in right here. Notice I'm not putting the blue across the yellow. Whoops, you can't notice anything because I'm too zoomed in. There we go. So now I'm taking the Prussian blue across the brown into the purple here, not across the yellow. I'm going to bring it up this way, just putting a little bit of a shadow. And then I will take this cinnamon brown and use it for my shadow on the yellow-brown area right here. And right here. Oh, that's pretty. And then, oh my goodness, my tummy is grumbling. I am going to look at that and go, what am I going to do? Color the words. I want to color the words, and I want them to be, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that orchid purple up here on the top row. Sorry, get my head back out of the way. So just up here on the top row, and I'm kind of leaving that, I'm going to try and leave that highlight space. I forgot to do it on the A, the first letter. See if I can figure out a way to work that out. Ah, thank you, Lorianne. Here, let's just zoom all the way out. There. So that is all the way zoomed out. I am really happy with that. I'm going to leave the card is going to be left white, that the words are sitting on. It's kind of fun to see it all the way zoomed out like this. And by leaving that sort of highlight in the center here, going across, it makes it feel almost like it's a ribbon. Like satin ribbon, so it has that highlight. And you notice I'm not doing it perfectly all the way across. Come on. Auto. I'm not doing it perfectly across. It's because the letters give you that feeling that the bends in the letters might be causing the highlight to move a little bit. You know, and it's not, you don't have to be a perfect letterer or a perfect colorer to have something turn out looking really pretty when you're all finished. So I think I will take the magenta and just do the line for heart. Since these all just have a single little skinny line. And now if I was being super careful and super worried about things, I would make sure that I didn't have any little boops outside of the lines. But you know what? It's okay. I'm going to use that same red, that magenta, on this skinny line because I know my pencil is sharp. So we've got a grateful heart and 4 miracles. And then is a magnet. I think I'm going to do with a deep orange color. Or purple. Well, no, deep orange. You printed the page on some plain paper and been coloring along with your Derwent Inktense. Ooh. But you know what? Your Inktense colors, you can layer them. And then you can use just a touch of water to blend them. I was thinking about maybe printing some of these out and doing them on watercolor paper with the Inktense or the with the Inktense pencils or with the Inktense paint pan. All right, so is a magnet. Maybe I'll just do that with the midnight blue, and I'm going to do it in the same way with the little highlight. Yeah, I like that idea. You know, coloring for relaxation is different than coloring or, you know, drawing a finished piece of artwork. Coloring for relaxation just allows your mind to relax. And if you go outside the lines, it's no big deal. Nobody's paying you. Or maybe they are. You might color. Hey, if you color some of these and want to, you know, and somebody says, hey, I will buy that out of your book, you could sell it to them. Now, you can't take the one that you download and print to sell in the black, you know, in the black and white. It has to be hand colored, can't be mechanically colored. But if you color something and it is like, oh my gosh, it is the most beautiful thing, and somebody says they want it, you can sell it. Just like I said, you're not selling the black and white pictures or black and white pages, and you're not selling mechanically reproduced. So you made the most beautiful, you know, coloring rendition, and then you took a picture of it and you go to make cards. That would be something that I would frown on. I'm all for people, you know, getting a little bit of pin money from their artwork, but, you know, from my artwork that they color and do, because it's kind of a collaboration at that point. We're doing it together. But if you, I'm going to take some of that purple right up here on the bottoms of these, that blue. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. You know, so if you were to color something and you wanted to make, you know, mechanical reproductions, we would have to have a chat about licensing, because then you could license the original. Oh, that is pretty. I wonder. I don't know if this would. Not really. Just trying to see if the purple, I'm going to go ahead and do just a little touch of it here and there. It's not really doing as much as the dark blue did. Yeah. And then you can buy more of my stuff. That's right. That's right. You know, I'm looking at this going, I don't know that I want to put a background on it. I kind of like this way. What do you think? What do you think? Are you... Yeah, I like how this turned out. Very spring into summer. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you want to do more coloring with me, please click that subscribe button, like this video. The more people that like this video, the more possibility that I will do more coloring videos. And I really appreciate you being here. Uncle Dan, oh, you look like Grandma peeking behind the bushes. Oh, thanks. Is that supposed to be a positive or a negative? I had kind of a Mrs. Kravitz moment. Now, if anybody is, you know, Mrs. Kravitz, the neighbor from Bewitched, you know, that kind of peeking out, you know, behind the curtain. So I'm glad that you guys like the the promo pictures. I'm trying to get a little bit more clickable on my pictures, on my images, but you know, that's how it goes. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate seeing you. I am grateful to all of you who come in, watch these videos, and click the like, subscribe, turn on notifications. And my patrons, you guys are amazing. And I am working on a project for my patrons that my patrons will have this project for free. And then other people will be able to purchase it. So I've got a project that I'm working on that's just a sweet little project that I hope that people who are patrons are going to enjoy it, and people who aren't might want to be a patron over on Patreon. Links are down below in the more information, and I will see you guys later. Remember to take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. Bye-bye.